Hello my friends, welcome on Travels and Code channel, and today I want to present you a new hot topic in web development. It's Deno. Deno is a new runtime for JavaScript and for TypeScript. It means that we can run JavaScript on the server. It's very similar to Node.js, but this runtime is a bit different. Deno name is very similar to Node, so it just switched some letters. It was created by Ryan Dahl, who was the original creator of Node.js. So 2 years ago he presented his speech, the link will be in description, where he mentioned what was wrong in design of Node.js, and he announced a new runtime, it's Deno, and just a couple of days ago it was launched. Right now, when I'm recording this video, it's just 3 days as this Deno was released version 1.0. So in this video we will install it and we will try how it works. It will be the first install on this computer, and I will show you everything what we need to know. So what's important is that it's also very secure. I will show you how it works, this security. Also it supports TypeScript out of the box. We don't need to install anything, any Bible or any other tool. And why it was created. As we know, Node.js was created more than 10 years ago, and when it was created, JavaScript was absolutely another, and now JavaScript evolved very well, and we can use all features in JavaScript which are not implemented in Node.js. For example, all Node.js is built using callbacks, but in Deno we can use async await functions or even just await functions. Also in Node.js we know that we need to use common JS approach, is requiring modules, but in Deno we can use ES6 or just ES modules and import everything what we need. So let's start from the beginning. Let's install Deno on the computer. I will use brew. So let's call brew install Deno. Also, what's important is that we need to understand that Deno is not a fork of Node, it's a completely new implementation. Deno has been under development just for 2 years, while Node was under development for over 10 years. So it means that right now in Deno you will find some bugs, it's not everything is completed, but for example, let's take a look on documentation and release that they mention that they support TypeScript from the box. Also, it's built based on Rust API, and under the hood we have the same C++ API, and it means that it will be very fast. Also, in stability they mention that they promise that maintain stable API, and it won't be changed very often, so it means that we can use it. And important that not all functionality is already ready, and there might be some issues. Also, what I want to mention, and it's very important, that Deno is not compatible with Node npm packages. It means that we don't have npm at all for Deno. It means that we don't have Node modules, we don't have npm, we don't have package.json, and we do not need to install npm or yarn to install different packages for development. So, and now brew install Deno. Let's try, let's run Deno version, and we see that version is 1.0.0 v8, and we have version of TypeScript. Also we can, let's clear it, let's run Deno, and we will use Deno under the hood where we can calculate everything. It works the same as it works with Node.js. So we see that installation was pretty easy, and let's create a first sample. Okay, let's do touch. As it's TypeScript, let's try how it works. Let's go to terminal and call Deno, run deno.js. So we see that compiling TS script, and we see the result hello Deno. So it works. Also, when we installed Deno, I want to mention how to update Deno version. It's very easy. We need just call Deno upgrade, and it will check the latest version, and if it's necessary, it will update it. It's very easy. So let's create a first script. It will be simple server. In Deno, we don't have package.json, npm, and some centralized repository. So how we can download or use packages or libraries? It's as it was implemented in browser, we need to import files directly. So let's import serve from, and here what's interesting, we need to put a URL to this file. So it will be https Deno land, it's official Deno site, then it's std is standard and version. After that we need to put http and server ts, and then interesting, we can create a server. We need to implement something new. It's a for await then request, and we need to respond object. What we need to respond, it will be body. The next, what we need to mention here is that it will be endless cycle when we will expect response from server. This server will be on port 8000, for example, and it's await. It means that async responses, we don't need to use async function wrapper because of then allows us to use await directly. We will get request and then we will respond to this request. Let's save it and run this file. Again, let's run deno.js. What we see is that it was compilation, then we downloaded all necessary files. What's important, all these files will be downloaded once and cached. So when we will run it again, we don't need to download all this file again. And what do we see? We have error because of permission denied. It's one of the most important features of Deno. They mentioned that it's secure runtime. To compare the security, let's compare security in browser with this one. In browser, we have different APIs for camera, for microphone, for full screen, for example. But if we want to use it, we need allow using this API. It's the same with Deno. If you want to use network access, you need allow the script to use this network, and the same with files. Comparing with Node.js, in Node.js you download any script from npm, for example, and nobody knows what's going on there. This script can get access to your server, to your files, and do everything. In Deno you can allow some permissions, but from another point, it means what do we need to do in case if we will have a huge list of permissions, if we will have a huge script and we need permissions for everything. Do we need to specify all specific permissions, or we will have something like in Unix we have 777 for allow everything. But what's important here is that we need to allow net flag to allow using this script. So let's run it again, but we'll add this security flag. Let's click. Deno was started. Let's try. And hello Deno. And hello Deno. Server was started. It works. Also, what's important and worth to mention that authors of Deno mentions that Deno will be compatible with all browser scripts in case you don't use some Deno core library. It means that the script you are using in browser, you can use it for Deno as well. Also, what I like in Deno is that they mention that already provided testing environment. So Deno has a built-in test runner, and we can create a unit test without installing anything else. So let's try how it works. We can import testing authors and run it. Let's do it. To use it, we need to create a file with test inside name. So let's save it and let's run, and we will see a result. So we need to stop server, we do not need it anymore. So it was executed, but we don't see any result. Let's try to change it. For example, let's run again. And to run unit test and test, for Deno we don't need to call Deno run, we need to call Deno test. Let's call Deno test. And let's see what we will have. So, and we see that we have error because of 3 is not 5. What I changed, let's change it back. Let's run again. And we see that test was executed, 1 passed, 0 failed, and it works. It's really cool. So, and you can run all files in a folder. You just need to call these files according to this pattern. To wrap up, what do we have? We have new JavaScript runner which don't support Node modules, npm and package.json. It means that you won't have a huge folder with some modules. Then it's secured by default. If we want to execute some script, we need to allow permissions to do it. Also, what's important is die by default. It means that Deno will always crash on uncaught exception. It was a design choice. If code doesn't catch error, Deno will crash and die. Also, that what we know that it's TypeScript support from out of the box. Also, we are using ES modules and do not support require. We saw that Deno has a built-in test runner. We can create unit tests, and is built on V8, Rust and Tokio, and under the hood there is C++. So it's absolutely new runtime, and comparing with Node, it's difficult to say the future for this runtime because of Node has more than 10 years of development, has a huge team, and a lot of companies and projects uses this runtime in production. And we will check how Deno will go, and it would be very interesting to hear from you. What do you think about Deno, how we can use it, and will it be successful or not? Leave a comment and it will be interesting to read. And also, if you are interested in more videos about Deno, mention it in a comment, and I will create some new interesting videos about this new feature.